Welcome back, guys, to Sports Kabri. With me are Adi and Rishi. All right, guys, we've got a few things to discuss in today's show. But interestingly, there's of course the game going on. It's KKR RR. 45 of 38 is what is needed. It's less than 8 and over, bro. It's getting close to now 7 and over. It should be pretty straightforward for these guys, for the Royals. I mean, sorry, for the Knight Riders. Unless something crazy happens. But so far, it's been pretty interesting. What do you guys think? It's not an easy wicket to bat on, bro. I think RR could have made more of a game. I thought Hasranga was terrible.
I mean, this was again. I think Vikram Rathore was saying during that mid-game interview, like the toss played a big factor because not many games have been T20 games have been played here, and they didn't know what as much of what to expect. So it was always a safer bet to like win and put the team to bat first. And I think Rahane won the toss and chose to bowl only. So that was a smart, like clear, smart choice. And yeah, the wicket was not apparently as easy to bat on. Like the ball is not coming out of the bat; it was sticking a little bit. So yeah, but again, it should have. I don't think it's a 150 wicket. It should have been a 170 at least. 170, 180 would have been really close. And some of the wickets, bro, like again, Riyan Parag looked good, like shot one straight up, and Sanju Sam, like what I didn't I missed the Sanju Samson wicket,
Clean
but
bowled, clean bowled.
clean. Okay, damn.
It's
And
just still a shoot,
yeah,
nothing else.
I see. Must have been a freak of a ball to get my Sanju
Nothing,
Samson
bro.
out.
He was in the slot. He came front foot. He got slapped for a bowled.
Mm. But then, yeah, again, some of the decisions were baffling because Hasaranga was coming like what, three down or four down or whatever,
But he
coming
explained
higher
that
than
also.
today.
Vikram Rathod explained that also.
Yeah, he wanted to play him play a left armer up there, but then at
You
this
have to be
point,
a batter also. You
yeah,
can't
exactly.
play a
That's the point.
bowler
You can't
and
just
say,
play
wow,
random
what
guys.
a
And
genius he
don't tell
is.
me Hasranga can be considered an all rounder because he's doing it in some Lanka
No,
Premier
I
League and
don't
all.
think
Let's
he's
be
a great
serious.
all rounder. I'm just saying like that's the explanation. Bro, Nitish Rana, bro, are you kidding me? At this stage of the game, these guys are taking the piss right now.
I mean, you need, bro. In the last game, ironically, like RR's last game, Nitish Rana was their best bowler, and he was the most underutilized bowler also.
Bro, he bowled 1 over for nine
Yeah,
runs.
Bro,
exactly my
Awesome.
point. He
But
was the
that
he was
over he could have gotten slapped. He was not bowling some incredible off spinners or anything. I thought Riyan Parag bowled pretty well today, but it's
But
bro
the spinners
Hasaranga.
are doing better,
Bro, but
a
that's the
much
thing.
better job.
On this kind of a wicket, Hasaranga, bro, he doesn't have the consistency that is needed to bowl at this level, bro. Like, it's genuinely sad to see like that. At least like because I think the bowlers around him bowled pretty well. I thought everyone,
Yeah,
Shana bowled well. Archer started pretty well. Then you had Riyan Parag. I thought bowled very well. He bowled an over in the power play and also bowled through the middle. Did pretty well. And
yeah.
it's a little unfortunate that like the game has sort of gotten away through that phase. Asanga, I think, conceded a boundary in every over he's bowled in this game so far. And now Decock is just having fun. He's just milking the singles and he's just getting through it. Um, Interesting game. Yeah, I think I agree, bro. I think they were like 10, 15 runs short. Even if like they got 165, I think it would have been a more of a contest. But 150 was a little too less. And if you don't have that ace wicket taking bowler, it's always going to be a little difficult. But yeah, let's uh four singles, bro. He's keeping them in the game. It might just go down to the last 2, 3 overs, but let's see. But let's discuss the main uh things that were supposed to be discussed today. Bro, Rohit Sharma has been popped to the field, not allowed to field. He's been popped to the bench. What's going on, bro? At this stage, do you think MS Dhoni could play longer than Rohit Sharma, Rishi?
I mean, see from whatever they've both been doing on the field. Like Rohit Sharma, I've never been that impressed with him on the field because like again last year, those rare occasions were the only time I saw him field in the outfield, like near the on the boundary line for a long time. Like before that, it's entirely been inside the 30th circle. So even then, like of course he hasn't made any glaring mistakes. He hasn't looked like it's looking difficult for him to field because of his whole body language and whatever other factors. But yeah, I feel again, if you have a younger player who can come in and run faster, his sharper on the field, I don't see why Mumbai wouldn't do that. And I wasn't surprised when they did that, because yeah, if you have a younger player, a fitter player, faster player on the field who can, like, again, whether it be just for a bowling, I mean fielding substitute, or for a bowling purpose, yeah, I don't see why you can't do that. And Dhoni, of course, with the bat, we all know that the quality, that it's not the same anymore, nowhere near the quality. But I still feel when it comes to stumping and when it comes to wicket keeping, he still has that spark. He's still quick. He has his stump work is really good, and you saw that in that Surya Kumar Yadav's wicket also. So I wouldn't be surprised if, but honestly, I don't think Rohit Sharma is going to retire anytime soon. And even if MI were to let go of him, I'm pretty sure there other franchises will like scoop him up. But that being said, I again, if tomorrow or end of the season Rohit Sharma was to retire, or end of next season Rohit Sharma was to retire and Dhoni still continues, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Okay, let me ask Adi this. Okay, then yeah, I understand that possibly like even if Mumbai let him go, then he get picked up by another franchise. Do you think Adi? Do you think Rohit Sharma plays last game for MI before Dhoni retires?
I mean, see, I think both of these conversations very like uncertain. I don't think Rohit will retire for anyways next 2 3 years,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
when you get paid 16 crores for like basic stuff, I think you will obviously sit and like go as long as you can. With Dhoni, I think honestly, I think maybe this could be his last season. Like I can't see him going past this overall. And even if like he can, I don't know what's the like point of it in terms of CSK. Like I think at a time like CSK also needs to be, they have to also become serious. Like you can't just keep going behind a player who's aging that fast. Like you're almost, what, 44, 45 next year, right? 44 or 45 he'll be. I don't think it
Oh,
makes
that's
sense for you,
crazy.
yeah,
44,
sit and
45.
like,
Insane.
because you let him play next year, then you don't really have any succession plan. Like what are you doing like as a club? Like even if I was a part of, let's say CSK, like the whole point is we need to have a plan. Like the same way they had a succession plan for his captaincy, the way they gave Ruturaj Gaikwad a year before, you have to do the same thing with getting in a player as a number 5, number 6, because technically you see Jadeja is playing higher than Dhoni, which is not really ideal for them. And you need to get an extra batter. Like that's how it looks like. Yeah, last game was a prime example because, for example, if it was a different case where Rachin Ravindra got out a bit more earlier, it would have been a very, very dicey situation for them because they don't have much batting after. Uh, I think after Deepak Hooda, they don't really have much batting and they will have to work on that. So overall, I don't. First of all, Dhoni retiring his own personal view, that's one thing. Then on top of that, having this franchise take a decision, are they brave enough to do that? You don't know because there'll be questions like, okay, if Dhoni retires, okay, that's a different thing. Okay, you can't be angry with CSK for that. But then if CSK are like, we're going to bench Dhoni or we want to move on from Dhoni and get a younger guy, or not even younger guy, let's say any other player, right? Like, for example, let's say Punt gets released or he leaves LSG next year, and you get in Punt instead of Dhoni, for example, or someone else new for Dhoni, it is going to be a very difficult situation because like it'll become the narrative that Dhoni has been replaced by someone else.
Hmm.
CSK took this decision. It was not Dhoni's own decision. And then how CSK is as a whole. Like I don't know if CSK fans support CSK or CSK. So there's going to be a huge turmoil in the fan base, like how we saw last year with the Mumbai fans. Like same thing, right? Last year we had Mumbai where they had two new like they had the change of guard where their only captain that won IPL for them left the scene. You got a new captain, and we know what happened, and that was just for Rohit Sharma. Uh, Imagine for Dhoni when you're like when we've seen how CSK fans react, even retaliate in terms of like Dhoni. So like it is going to be very tough overall. Like I think if CSK can convince maybe Dhoni from the behind scenes saying, okay, it's just time for you to retire, or Dhoni just retires by himself, I think that can be better for them. or else like yeah, I think for me, I don't see a future with him playing at least for the next one or maybe 2 seasons max. Like I just don't see it making sense. Like I think this season itself was a big stretch, like because it is a new cycle, 3 year cycle. If he's able to play, fair enough, he's able to play. But then next year, it's just so deep in like another year, it's going to be very different.
Yeah, he's not going to get any younger, obviously, right? 43, bro. That's crazy. He's going to be 44 by the time the next IPL begins and nearly 45. So it's it's wild to even think about the fact that this guy is going to is still playing. And yeah, like, of course, Rishi, you mentioned his glove work, but we also saw in the same game him not picking up a leg spinner and that went for four byes, which was not even a wide. So like it you just don't know. Like I don't know if he's the same Dhoni. Of course, dude, he's 43. Nobody's expecting him to be the same player. And there's a really interesting conversation, like Adi mentioned, around the fan base, which is how will the fan base take it? Do they have that bottle in them to say no, like this is it for him? We're moving on from him. I don't think they have the courage to do it. I think until he steps down himself, they don't have the courage to take that call. And even that aside, what about the fans? Like I don't think any fan will say like it's time for him to move on. Do you think any CSK fan would say let's move on from him?
I think uh, there is I wouldn't say a healthy percentage, but there is a small percentage of fans who are concerned because after the Mumbai game, there were a lot of like stadium interviews, like but there were fans in the stadium who were concerned. Like they were saying, okay, like the minute a wicket fell, they were like the majority of the stadium were cheering. They were supporting for Dhoni to come, and like they were like, what is the point of this? Like
Yeah,
you have to be supporting Ruturaj. You have to be backing Ruturaj. You have players like Jadeja. You have players like Shivam Dube. Whenever they're like these guys are the future. Like again, not Jadeja maybe, but Shivam Dube, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Rajin Ravindra. These guys are the future. You have to finally accept that. Okay, Dhoni, the fantastic servant of CSK, the leader of CSK, is eventually moving. Like is no longer the same player, and you have to move on from him. Like ultimately, you are a CSK fan. You're not like you would expect these fans to be CSK fans and not Dhoni fans. But I feel when it comes to CSK fans, they have been like heavily biased towards Dhoni, and yeah, it's almost like worshipping. Like it's not like they've been fans of them. Like yeah, whether be it giving the title Tala or whatever it is. So I feel yeah, at least the CSK fans are run by emotion and not by logic. So of course, when eventually when CSK, if they, I don't again, I agree with you. I don't think they will have the steel, the nerve in them to actually like to axe him out. At least that's what they'll do behind the scenes, and then they'll make a whole PR stunt saying that okay, Dhoni ultimately decided to retire. Because I don't think there's going to be any scenario where they come out and say that okay, we wanted to move on from him and we've let go of him, because that'll just not sit right with the fans. And they because they're such emotionally, I wouldn't say volatile, but they are a lot more emotion based fans. So I don't think they would take it well. So yeah, I think that's the only scenario where they'll have to force a retirement out of him.
bro. I don't mind the emotion based fans, honestly. Like yeah, if you are emotionally driven, bro, like it's great. Like fine, bro. Like be emotional, that get behind and all of that. But you can't be fans at the detriment of your own team. Like how does that work? Like bro, I was in shock. So I've been saying this for a while now, and I still maintain it. I had a conversation with CSK fans also. Okay, like before the beginning of the IPL, and they're like, bro, no, there's nothing like this and all. There's nothing like, oh, I'm supporting like this player or that player or anything like that. It's just like we're all CSK fans and all of that. Like now these videos are coming out, and now it's actually become a topic of conversation. Are CSK fans actually CSK fans? Like, how can you cheer your own top order batter getting out? How can you abuse your top order batter who's won you that game basically? Rachin Ravindra single-handedly almost won them that game along with Ruturaj Gaikwad, basically. And they're abusing that guy who's won you the game. Like that's crazy. Can you ever imagine like what would you like? Just what is this feeling, bro? Imagine like we're all like me, at least we are RCB fans. Imagine somebody was abusing Phil Salt because he didn't allow Virat Kohli to finish an innings or something like that. That's
Bro,
insane.
I
It's
don't
not
think
like
it can
Dhoni didn't have the chance to finish, or Rachin Ravindra just finished the game before Dhoni could bat. Like he had two balls to play also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. It was
Exactly.
2 runs of what, some 7 balls, and he defended both of them.
Yeah, it was four
Four
of
of
eight.
seven, no?
4 of 8.
Yeah,
He
four of
played two
seven.
4 of
dots.
8. He
So
played 2 balls.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he could have finished the game if you are so-called like Dhoni, like hardcore. And yeah,
Bro, you need net run, bro. Isn't that more important than giving strike and doing one more jolly 1-1-1 run? Like,
exactly.
isn't
Yeah,
it? I think that's what we saw yesterday with Punjab also. Like, Shreyas Iyer could have easily got a century because he had like 2 odd overs to finish it, like 1.5 overs, if I'm not wrong. But
yeah,
the entire last over, like, Shashank just played. Like, he played the entire innings. Entire last over, he scored like what? If I'm not wrong, he scored more than 25 runs in the last over,
20,
which
24,
actually
25.
was a big turning point for them because if he didn't score, had that big over last over, and even he was just trying to give singles and trying to get, maybe Shreyas Iyer to a century, they would have been 20, 25 runs short, and they might have had more pressure in the death overs when Rutherford and Butter were batting. Like, they subtract that 20 runs, and it would have been an easier scenario where it was what it would have been like 40 of 3 overs to win for 40 or 35 odd runs to win in the last three
yeah.
overs for Gujarat, and that's a totally different game
That's
versus
true.
like 60 of the last 3 overs. So like that's the whole point. As a This is an entire team game. Like at the end of the day, if Dhoni is winning an IPL, it's not because of Dhoni, it's because of what CSK has done, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
all the
true.
5 IPLs that CSK has won, it's not only Dhoni who was standing there on the pitch. It was literally, you look at any of the seasons, like it was the players who were actually pivotal for them. It was not Dhoni who was sitting and balling there, batting there, chasing down. It was not him. It was the other players who actually mattered and did it. Like good 2 years ago, it was guys like Ruturaj Gaikwad, Conway, Rahane who actually won them that. Dube even to an extent, Jadeja in the finals. Finals, who won them the finals? It was almost like Jadeja, 10 runs of the last 2 balls, right? So you have to be very like real. Like at the end of the day, if he's winning an IPL, it's because of the team and it helps his credentials. So you can't sit and as fans, bro, like that's my point. Like, are you CSK fans? I really doubt it because this is not the first time I've seen it. Going 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when there were rumors saying, okay, maybe Dhoni's going to retire, since they came back to India and opened up, stadiums. Every time he used to come to bat, they were excited. Every time CSK lost a wicket, they were cheering and they were like, yeah, let's go, because they know each wicket CSK loses is closer to Dhoni batting. Even yesterday, like sorry, on Sunday when who was it? Like I think I don't remember who it was. If it was Huda or
Deepak
someone.
Hooda, Deepak Hooda.
I think he got out, and it was actually a pivotal stage because they suddenly started losing a lot of wickets. And if Jadeja didn't come in and iron things out, it would have been a very tricky case for them. It was not like the
Yeah,
game was smooth sailing. I get it at least if it's very smooth sailing and it's like, maybe 10, 20 runs to win of the last 5 overs. And okay, that's a different thing, as a fan. Okay, we're in this to win it. I don't mind seeing Dhoni coming and batting. But this was like a very dicey situation. And then I remember like the videos panning on the fans and they were all cheering because they know it's like, okay, if one more wicket falls, it's Dhoni coming in. Like, how can you? I don't get it, bro. I don't understand how you can call yourself a fan of CSK and be like that. I've never. Only time
is
I've
it?
ever seen like this ever happened before. I don't know. Like, I actually don't think I've seen it.
I've
Like
never
even
seen
with
it.
Virat, if you want to say Virat, like people would be excited, but no one's going to cheer for RCB losing a wicket. Like that's the point.
That's true.
Like
I
no
don't
one's
think
going to be
I don't
excited.
think when RCB, when especially when Virat used to bat at three, and say you had, I remember Gale and Dilshan used to open at a point in time. There were no fans cheering if Gale or Dilshan got out. Nobody was happy if we lost a wicket or whatever. Like it's incredible, bro. Like is this now a toxic fan base? Like
Maybe it has something to do with, like, see, if Dhoni was like probably in his is like 30, 31, 32, like in today's game, I don't think the fans would be as like impatient. I think somewhere for them they want to watch him one last time, like, because again, we as fans know that how hard it is to get a ticket and to maybe get like go and watch like your team play. Like I don't know if it's as difficult as getting like a Chennai ticket as it is for a Bangalore ticket. But again, if you know that say a Virat is moving on, he is not getting any younger. This might be the last time you are watching him play. And would you not want to be? would you not want to watch him bat? Again, I'm not saying that should come at a detriment of your team, saying that okay, you should outright be booing other players or like cheering every
But this
wicket.
is happening, no? This is what is happening now.
Yeah,
Bro,
I know,
how?
and like I'm saying like
Yeah.
a fan sentiment as to them wanting to watch Dhoni bat probably like one last time or for most of them the only time in their life before he retires. And
But
again, I'm saying that shouldn't come at a detriment of the team.
yeah, exactly. There's a difference between wanting to watch Kohli bat when he's retiring versus wanting RCB to like the batsman to get out for
Get out,
Kohli to
yeah.
watch. Like there's that's
Yeah.
a
No, no,
two
I'm just saying.
different
I'm like
conversations.
I'm saying like yeah, like maybe if he was a little bit younger, I don't think the fans would have again acted like
He
this
has
or
been young. What do you mean? Like
Yeah, bro.
that
Literally, like
bro, that
even if you go back a few
mm,
years, this is not. It's not a this year thing or anything. It's been for a while, and we have seen like this godlike status for Dhoni. Like it's not the first time I'm seeing this or whatever. I have, bro. At least for me, like personally, I've spoken about this and like I've had conversations with others about this for a while now, and it's something that I've observed like a lot. Like, bro, literally, like yesterday, I was in the gym or something, and I was just talking to some guy, and then he was like, so I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He was like, I was wearing the RCB jersey, so he was like, oh, you support RCB? I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he was like, I was like, who do you support? And he said, CSK. I was like, ah, okay, are you from Chennai or something? I asked him, and he said no. He said I forgot where. He said somewhere he's from Central India, but. Yeah, Thala for life, and Thala is my god and all. Bro, then I realized that, bro, and it's the same response you get from everyone. It's not the only like single case. Every other person has the same response, and that's scary, I think.
mm. I think there are a lot of MSD fans who happen to be or who started supporting CSK because of MSD rather than the team as such.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of us like there'll be that same scenario for a lot of people because I know a lot of friends from my college who support RCB only because of Virat Kohli. Or again, I started the one of the reasons I started supporting Mumbai Indians was because Sachin Tendulkar used to play there. But again, I don't think like yeah my college mates would like change from RCB just because like Virat stopped playing cricket one
No,
day. Or
no,
same happened with me. Like yeah, Sachin retired doesn't mean I switch teams one fine day. Like okay, whatever your reason XYZ is to start supporting a team, ultimately you become a fan of the team, and I don't think you should just become a worshipper of that player and like be like yeah I'm just here for the player. Once the player moves on, I don't care. Like I'll see what happens then, or it should be like that.
bro, scary, absolutely scary stuff. But yeah, RR. I thought they got it a little close. Tikshana was bowling well, but then he bowled that five
No,
wide, and
that five
it
wide,
just got,
yeah, just gave it
yeah,
away.
so it just got toned down.
Wait, did
Uh,
this guy get QDK get his century? No, no.
Nah, I don't think so. I just shut it down after he hit the six. So I'm not
Let's
sure. It
see.
was like 7 of 16 or something like that.
Let's
But
see. Let's see. Oh, 97 not out. Sad.
it's unfortunate. But yeah, Adi, do you think it's toxic, bro? Like the fan base?
it is, bro, because I don't say it because you're just cheering when he's coming onto the pitch or when someone gets out, but it's more about it goes online also. Like there are guys going on Rachin's Instagram post
No, that's
that do which
insane.
is not even
Imagine abusing
yeah
your own player for
player.
winning a
That
game
that's
for
literally
you.
it. Like
That's
and like you read
yeah.
the comments and it's pretty wild.
Damn,
It's
I
not
didn't know
like
this had happened. Damn.
yeah, it's pretty bad. Like it's not even like it is some basic thing like asking. They're like low key like just going and cussing on him and saying why didn't you let Dhoni finish it? And see, at the end of the day, you can't blame like anyone like Dhoni or anyone from CSK for this. It's just the CSK fans in them itself is like that,
No, it's
right?
the
Like
fans, of course. You can't blame
yeah,
not
you can't do
the
much about it until like that's the thing. Like if you're a franchise that really no one like not I'm not saying obviously if we look at it like there is a huge population of fans that can only support them for Dhoni. There are going to be other fans that are more likely to support CSK and want the best out of them. Like you will find both of them, but overall it just looks like the people who don't care about the entire team's playing and care more about how Dhoni works is more louder compared to the other ones. So we see them more.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
when you see them more, it is obviously that if you're making more noise, you are going to be heard. And that is going to be when you take notice of that, that's the impression you're going to build. And every time I see online in stadium, like I'm only seeing things which is not like ideal to see as I mean, from a CSK fan, if I'm seeing everyone cheering when one of your players' wicket falls, going online, talking bad about the player when he's won you the game technically, and try to improve the team's net run rate, which was important. You go last year, the only reason CSK lost was because they screwed up the net run rate. So we know IPL can go down to qualification based on net
Happens
run
every
rates.
year. It happens every year.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to, and this year it's more because like every game is so different. It might be tougher for CSK or other teams because other teams like SRH are going to play in such a flat track where they're going to score 250, 260 every game. For you as CSK, it depends, and it's more important for you to get a better net run rate because you know it's going to be very tight. So if you're looking as a fan, I wouldn't care, bro. I don't care if Virat gets out and then the next three people come and score a century. At the end of the day, if you're winning, we're winning. That's it. And as any fan, you have to be like that, right? If you call yourself as a fan of a team, but that's not the case with this team. And if it's going to the case of going on Instagram talking bad about the player, your own player, like I don't know if that's what they look at it as. I don't know if they wear the CSK jersey for Dhoni or they wear it for the CSK franchise itself. Going and giving abuse to the guy who played such a pivotal role for first of all to win that game. If it was not Sachin's innings, I don't think CSK were winning that game. And it just doesn't make sense, bro. Like, why are you not happy for the player? Like, why are you not happy for him? Scoring runs and winning the game for even Dhoni. If you look at it like that, like,
Mm.
and it's kind of sad to see, in an era where just because one player can retire, you're gonna, shout at your own players because we've seen enough, bro. It's not like we've not gotten enough cricket from Dhoni to, sit and be here now, sitting and saying, okay, I wish we had more from him. Like maybe guys like Gale, we would have sit and said we hope we could have seen more of him because he didn't have a long career in terms of his prime, etc. Like with Dhoni, bro, he's been there since 2007. It's almost 20 years now. In the next 2 years, if it comes down to that, he's played every season of the IPL. Maybe he's not played for every season for CSK. I know, I don't know why, but like at least overall, he's played every season in the IPL, and
Bro,
you
yeah.
as a fan have seen enough of him. You don't have to sit there and be like, yeah, like hold on to the fact that okay, it's his last year, maybe not. So we have to see him bat. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you see him win, like that's what matters, right? So, and it's crazy. Like I don't understand how fans can. For me, I can't fathom it. Like it's not even this year. Even last year, I used to see them celebrating every time. Dhoni would come in those last 1 over 2 overs. Like, bro, it just doesn't make sense. Like when your other players of the team are scoring so many runs, getting that game close. And then, when they're trying to finish the game, you get out and people are cheering instead of like applauding your efforts. Like it's just,
Bro,
I don't know.
if I were a player, I would hate to be a part of like that kind of setup where
Yeah,
like
bro. Fair.
my own supporters are saying like go, we don't want you to bat and stuff. But Rishi, bro, do you think that means RCB is going to get some help from the crowd when they go to Shipok?
I mean, hopefully. And yeah, he'll be up against batsman Bangalore boy who is in the form of his life, or I wouldn't say form of his life, but in good form. And if the fans do play their part, it's going to be counterproductive for CSK only, and it's going to be ultimately RCB's win. If every wicket they're going to feel like a home game only. So yeah, it's going to be a tough ask. Like you saw, I felt the RCB spinners did a good job in the previous game because again the pitch was not offering much, and I felt KKR lost a few wickets in the middle through to spin a bit too easily. But I can think for RCB, of course, I don't think their spin attack is as good as CSK's, but positive signs if they can make something out of not a lot. I think the pitch will have enough to work with, and yeah, it should be enough hopefully, and the fans will be a 12th man for RCB hopefully.
Yeah, James Bond is asking who's going to win that. Adi, do you think between CSK and RCB? We've seen both teams now, a game each. What do you think?
I mean, again, bro, for me, I think it's similar reservations from the KKR game. I think we are underdogs going into this tie for sure because if we're playing away from home, against Chennai at Chennai, where we've never won since what 2000. I think we have only one win, if I'm not wrong,
2008
in Chennai.
in the first
Yeah,
season.
2008. Apart from that, we've never won there. So over the years, there's nothing really changed for us to sit and say we can win. Even last year, when we had a decent side, even though it was the first game, we had a good team to go out there and win, and we still couldn't because last year I think CSK were at a weaker point in terms of their overall team, and you still it was very tough to beat them. I think only Punjab, if I'm not wrong, is the only team that's beaten them in Chapok over some time, if I recollect. So it's not just
I think
RCB. I think every team, yeah, I think every team struggles there. Like, CSK, I said at home, it's going to be a different monster to fight. RCB going into this, me overall, even though we had a, pretty good first dominant win, it was also a matter of fact that, the pitch there was pretty bad. Like, it was a batter friendly pitch. And going from there suddenly to such a slow track, I feel like it's going to be very difficult for them to adapt versus CSK batsmen. Guys like Rachin Gaikwad can, be a bit tricky to get them out or, get them, uh, put them under pressure. And again, like overall, I think we just don't have the spin department quality. Like if you're going against three top class spinners like Jadeja, Ashwin, and now Noor Ahmed versus what we have, which is barely anything. I feel like barely a spin department. Like it's going to be a long day for us, even if not batting wise, bowling wise for sure. So I don't know how we can win. I don't see how we can win. But again, like I can always hope. But to be fair, I think it's going to be a pretty. I think it's going to be a CSK win just for the fact of like everything I've
Hmm.
seen.
I see this being a close one actually. I think it's going to go. It's going to be pretty close. I say that because of what I've seen from the CSK batting. I just don't think it's there as it has been for the last few years or whatever. Like or the CSK of old. I don't think it's the same batting lineup. Again, Jadeja's form in white ball cricket has been questioned in recent months. We've also, of course, there's
Huh?
Dhoni.
From
I mean,
whom, Rahul?
in
Who's
the previous game,
questioning this form?
he did well. To be fair, he was motoring along really well. He didn't get a wicket, yeah, but Jadeja, he did
No,
well
no,
against us.
I'm not saying. I'm not talking about previous game. I'm talking about just in general.
He had this thing of 11 runs, if I'm not wrong. This economy.
Jadeja.
Yeah.
No, he gave like 3 overs, some 20, 22, 23, or 20
Sorry,
rather.
seven. It was, I think, seven. I'm sorry. I actually.
Yeah, Jadeja the bowler, of course, like bro. I mean, on this wicket, it's going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. But Jadeja's white ball form, I'm talking about with the bat. Of course,
Hmm.
there's been questions raised, even in Test cricket. Uh, and bro, that's what like it's a very uncertain batting lineup. Deepak Hooda, not sure. Then you're looking at Rahul Tripathi. He opened the batting, and it looks like they're going to go that way. And I'm not sure again what you're going to get with him. Ravindra, I thought genuinely was not batting well in the first like 15, 20 balls of that inning, but then got to the pace of the wicket and then he looked a lot better. But yeah, overall, I haven't been like overly impressed with the Chennai batting. I'm not that worried, but of course, just worried for the fact that their bowling is what it
Their
is.
spin attack,
I
like
mean,
again,
you
how
can't.
RCB batters handle the CSK spin also.
I think
No,
this is
what
one of
does.
those
Wait,
games.
wait, wait.
I would love to see Virat score like a 60 of 40, 45 balls kind of an innings and get RCB to a good score. I think this is the perfect game for Virat and like Rajat Patidar, like these kind of the Indian batters should do well. If they do well, I think genuinely RCB have a good chance because
Do you guys think a 170, 180 is a good score?
oh
Because
yeah,
I felt a
100%.
170,
100%.
170 would have been a very good score for us at like Mumbai at least.
Yeah.
Do you guys think
I think
170 is
so.
par for you guys?
I think
Bro,
so.
for me,
170 is good.
the difference between Mumbai's bowling versus RCB bowling is huge. Like, bro, your spin department's still better than RCB spin
I don't
department.
think so.
Like,
I don't think their spinners are better
bro,
than.
are you saying Santner and
They
the
have
kid who played?
one spinner. They have one spinner in
We
Santner.
don't
Also,
have that also, Rahul.
Santner got slapped.
Yeah, and he didn't
He
bowl
got
well.
slapped
Rishi,
up.
that's not
And
my point. My
Vikas
point is you
Purul
have a
is a
better spin.
No,
Bro,
complete
it
wild
doesn't matter.
card.
At the
He
end of the
hasn't
day,
made his
anyone over Suyash
he hasn't
is
made
better.
his
So you
domestic
can't make.
debut. Like
Sorry?
he
And
hasn't
he
even
was the
made his
best bowler
domestic
that day.
debut.
and he was the
Yeah,
best
of course,
bowler.
he was a good bowler
So it
that day,
He
but
shows
was
that
not.
you have a good
Dude,
bowling
as much as
department.
bro, kudos to the kid, obviously for doing what he did. But I don't think he had like some outstanding, like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
it is
there was
not
some
about
bad
having an
shots in
bro.
there.
Like
it's not even like, okay, if
I
this
if
is
he
think
had
not
an
the point. The
outstanding
point
game,
is
if he
I
had
it
an
think
is. Look
outstanding
at
game,
this.
fair enough.
Wait.
But
Let me
how
finish
can
my
you just
point.
say
One
based on
second. Can I
one
just finish
day
my
of a
point?
wild card random bowler that, I mean, random in the sense and relatively unknown bowler having a very good day, saying that you have a better bowling lineup? Like, even if he hadn't
Yeah,
played like,
I want to finish my point
yeah,
again
yeah,
because
okay.
one bowler is not just one bowler, bro. He was facing on the same pitch like against the likes of the greatest spinners, Jadeja, your Ravichandran Ashwin, Noor Ahmed, who's had enough experience in cricket, Sandner, who's had enough experience of cricket. He's come into this game going against, tough opposition, got wickets like Ruturaj Gaikwad's wicket, etc. I don't sit and say it can be an outlier anomaly. He bowled beautifully. And at the end of the day, he outperformed great spinners like
I
Ashwin on the
don't think
same
he
track.
bowled. I don't think he bowled
Bro,
beautifully.
whatever
like
happens, at the end of the day, he outperformed
he
other
was he,
spinners.
he was
Like,
he was
bro,
bowling
bro,
in
wait,
the late 80,
wait, wait,
okay,
wait, let me
actually
finish.
early 80s. And to be fair, I felt, again, okay, the wickets are very good. We pick, like, that's what ultimately brought us to however close we got. But I felt someone like Namandir actually bowled, like, purely bowling. I felt he bowled, if not better, just as good, because of course he didn't get the wickets, but he cranked up the runs. He was hitting the right areas. He was getting the players to struggle for even singles. Like that,
Yeah,
again, it's unfortunate that he went under the radar because he didn't pick a wicket. But I felt that, I think 3 overs he considered what, like 11, 12 runs or something, and that actually also brought us pretty close.
So
I
that's
just
fair.
think
But my
Vignesh
whole
Puttur,
point is
bro.
overall, as a
Hmm.
spin department, it technically is better. I'm sorry, we can't go in with the spin
I don't think it's
department
better.
of Krunal Pandya and Suyash, especially Suyash, who doesn't can't even control his line and length, was struggling to even have a release against
Adi,
KKR.
if you actually
Wait, bro,
watch,
wait, one
yeah,
second,
yeah,
wait.
okay.
You can't sit here and tell me he's a better spinner versus
I
a kid who's already done a lot. Going back to the entire fact that again,
Bro, he
even
has
Krunal,
not. He's played one game. What do you mean he has done a lot? Where has he done a lot?
bro, he got 3 wickets and 3 important wickets, which almost
Okay,
changed the
Adi.
game. Versus
So
Suyash, who's not been able to
So,
do that
so
much. Also,
bro,
Adi,
he's
like
Adi,
played on a
Adi, when
flat wicket.
Suyash
He's played
when
on a
Suyash
good
broke into the
wicket for
scene for
bowling.
KKR, he was also hyped up for a lot. Like, look how that has turned out,
no,
and hopefully
Bro,
Vignesh
one
Puttur
second,
doesn't
I'm
one
turn out like
second,
sorry.
that.
one
No,
second.
that's literally wrong. First of all, that's wrong.
One sec,
Secondly,
one sec.
wait.
He bowled one.
I want to finish this. Suyash was never
Okay.
hyped. He had played multiple games before he got those wickets against RCB. Just what that was the later on game. That was not even a debut where he debuted against RCB and
That
got
was the
wickets. So it
second
was
game of the season, by the way, for
Yeah.
KKR.
the last season was not his debut season, by the way. Just if
I'm
you want to
talking
talk.
about his second, like a proper season where he's played. He didn't. The first season that he came in, barely
Exactly,
played.
Rahul is. You had enough time. My whole
What
point
do you
is,
mean
I've seen
enough
enough to.
time? Playing 2 games is not enough time.
My point is still now, till today, we've seen enough to say I
Exactly the
can't get
point.
anything out of
So,
it.
so what
Exactly
Bro,
have
the
you
like,
seen
point.
are you
from
guys
Vignesh
saying, bro,
Puttur?
wait.
What have you
Let me
seen
go
from
back.
Vignesh Puttur that is telling you that he is much better than Surya Sharma?
Can I just, okay, I can't really, I don't know how to,
Uh,
articulate this. I'll just take this back to like maybe football to just give you a better example. You know, let's say like an academy player coming and making a first team debut versus a player who's been in the team, senior player, mid-term player, whatever, playing a game. You can see the difference within a game. You don't need 100 games to see, for example.
But what
Like
do you see?
you, oh, you can see that he was able to control
that is not true. He was
his
not able to
length.
control line and length. But anyways,
Who,
continue.
bro? You're just disagreeing for the sake of it. You're telling he's not
I'm
able to
not.
control
I'm
his line and
not.
length.
I'm not.
Who
I
is not
watched
able
the
to
game.
control his line and length?
I remember all of his wickets, and I know how they were dismissed. They were
Can you please
the wickets
explain?
that he
Like,
got, except for the one against Ruturaj Gaikwad. The ball that he
except
bowled.
for the one. So you want to take out that one important wicket which he got out,
Okay,
and you're like,
even
except
the
for
one
that,
against.
bro. Like, I don't get it.
Okay, big differences. First difference is simple. He's played on a bowler like Vignesh Puttur. Bro, I don't want to tear him down or anything because I think, bro, he's done like the fact that you're 17 and playing there is incredible. The
He's
second
not
thing,
17. He's 24.
Vignesh Puttur.
Yeah, he's 24 years old.
Yeah, Vignesh Puttur is not.
Wait, what?
He's 24. Yeah,
Why did I
he's
say
a
he was
year
17?
younger than
Okay,
us.
sorry, whatever. He's 24 and he's playing that great stuff. I thought he was 17. I don't even know why. But the first, I remember he got one which was caught it long off. I think there was I can't remember who it was. It was
Shivam Dube.
Shivam Dube. It was an extremely full delivery, not the best of balls. There was one that
Hmm.
Deepak Hooda got out at
Deepak
square
Hooda.
leg. That was a ball outside leg stump that this guy chased. These are not
Okay.
in so now 1 second. Wait, Adi. Now that
Okay.
you finish, now that you finish, um, the difference is you're saying that you see an academy player and you see a lot from him and say that wow, this guy is amazing. The difference is
I
in
don't need to
Vignesh
see a lot.
Puttur.
I can see
No, wait,
talent
no, let me
within.
finish. No, let me finish. No, the difference is that in this case, in Vignesh Puttur's case, I have not seen like that consistency which you need as a leg spinner to tell me that okay, you know what, he's going to land the ball in a good area. He does not have a big leg spinner, by the way. If you watch Vignesh Puttur bowl, he almost bowls sliders. He doesn't have a big leg spinner that turns viciously, right? Like, and that's the difference from him and any good Chinaman. If you look at Kuldeep Yadav, he's got a proper big leg spinner. If you look at Brad Hogg, of course, I'm going well back
You're
because again,
comparing the
Chinaman.
greatest bowlers, one of the
Anyone, okay, even I'll
better
take
bowlers.
recent leg spinners. Tabraiz Shamsi, if you look at Kuldeep Yadav, Noor Ahmed, all these guys have
But
good
I'm
leg
comparing him
spinners.
to Suyash. I'm not comparing them
I'm
to.
telling you why he's not. You can't say that he's the one time you've seen him, he's outstanding or whatever. It's
It is
because
not that. My whole point is I can even with a
you're not
small
letting me
sample
finish.
size.
You're not letting me
I'm just
finish.
comparing game one
You're
of.
not
I'm
letting me
comparing
finish.
both of their game ones, bro,
You're
and
not
I'm
letting me.
seeing.
You're not letting me finish. Yeah,
But
Surya
I'm
Sharma
trying to
did
tell
have
you,
a
you're
good game.
taking my entire point
You're
wrong. So my
not. You're
point is
not
don't
letting
take
me
it
finish.
forward.
You're not letting me finish. First,
But
simple
Rahul,
thing.
you're comparing. You're
Simple
again
thing.
comparing
They played
Vignesh.
on different wickets, buddy. They played on different wickets. One was a flat surface and one
Bro,
was not.
it
And
is.
one
It
is a
doesn't
cross.
matter if you're playing on different wickets
It
versus you
does.
not able to
It
control
does
your line
matter
and
if you're
length.
playing on
Bro,
different
it
wickets.
does. Rahul,
It
if
does. Don't
if a
be under
player is
so
not
much
able to
pressure. And
release,
if you've asked anyone who has played, they will tell you how hard it is to bowl on a flat wicket versus bowl on a wicket that gives
I
you something.
agree.
It's
But there's a difference
not at all the
between not
same.
able to have a proper release point, bowling short from ball one, bowling wise from ball one, struggling to even get to your line and length right. That doesn't matter if it's a flat wicket or if it doesn't matter if it's a very sticky
It
wicket.
does.
So
It
bowling
definitely does.
first
I
ball you
think,
ball is
bro,
short.
the pressure, the amount of pressure on you when it is a flat wicket is way, way different to what it is when you're bowling on a good wicket because it's a lot easier to get it in the right areas because you don't have that pressure saying that even if I'm 1 meter this side, that side, I'm going to get smashed for six. It doesn't happen on a good wicket because you can, I mean, good wicket as in for good bowling wicket because even if you don't land it in that exact right area, the pitch will grip, it'll hold, it'll not come onto the bat for you to just go and hit it with the line. It's a little harder. And I can't help but say that one game of Vignesh Puttur has not made me believe that he's better than Surya Sharma or whatever. I don't think Surya Sharma is an outstanding bowler or a brilliant bowler either. But I genuinely can't say that the Mumbai Indians spin attack is better than an RCB's because I genuinely rate Krunal Pandya. I think I think Santner had a brilliant Champions
Sanders
Trophy.
is a much better player. You can't
I,
even
I agree.
deny that.
I genuinely agree. I think Sandner is a much better player than Krunal Pandya.
So I
But
don't understand how
but
this doesn't
but
matter. Like that's the
But
whole point.
but because RCB have the option of going to Liam Livingston, who can bowl both off spin and leg spin, the RCB have the option of going to a Jacob Bethel. I think RCB become a pretty strong spin
Vettel
unit
doesn't
when
play
you allow
Rahul.
it.
Again, go back to the
If he
fact that
does,
he won't play.
even if he doesn't play, you're getting 3 overs of spin and 4 from Liam Livingston, who's going to bowl leg spin and off spin for you. And he bowled pretty well in Calcutta also, by the
And
way.
before you guys throw in names like Will Jacks, I watched Will Jacks bowl. He
Will
was
Jacks was
all over
shocking.
the place.
Will Jacks is bad.
He
Will
was
Jacks is
all over the
not a
place. He
good
was
option.
bowling
No,
down.
no,
He was
no.
going down
Will
the
Jacks
leg.
is
He was
not a good
bowling
bowler.
outside off, like too full. He was bowling
No,
left,
no.
right, center. And
But,
yeah,
that
it's
my point,
24 balls.
Rishi.
It's
But
not
like you can get the same from any bowler, bro. Like I can get that from Livingstone at one game. Like it doesn't
no,
matter. Like
Livingston
again,
is
you
a much
can't say,
better
No,
spinner
Livingston is a much
than
more
oh
accomplished
Will
please.
bowler than Will
Jacks.
Jacks.
I
Will Jacks
agree
is
that
not
I
I
even
don't
a
think
agree,
he's
bad
but
arguing about
spinner.
Will Jacks and
no,
Livingston.
but
I
I've seen
know.
enough of Will Jacks to say he's decent spinner. Like he can ball.
No, he's
Like my whole
not
point is you
decent. No,
can't.
I've seen enough of Will Jacks. I don't think he's a decent spinner. I don't think Will
Bro,
Jacks is a
last year
third.
his bowling was pretty useful.
I
Like I
think
can't sit and lie.
at best, Will Jacks is a fourth spinner, not a third spinner. Like I can't. I
Like,
don't.
yeah,
Oh
again,
yeah,
like
sure.
I just
Obviously he
want
would.
to get it back to the Vignesh Puthur point. Like, again, 24 balls is not like you're not even going to get a sample size on 24 balls of where he's going to land. Like, if the leg spinner out of 24 balls lands 20 balls in the same area, he's going to get hit. So that is, first of all, that is not a good metric to use. And now if the 24 balls he bowls 6 balls in different areas in 4 different categories, that is also not a good metric. So you can't say anything in a span of one game of 24 balls to say, okay, is this person necessarily good or not. Hopefully he comes good. Hopefully he bowls really well, like goes on to have a brilliant career. But the way the areas where he was landing, I felt he was at least 10 k's short. Like if he could like crank up the speed by another 6, 7, 8 kilometers per hour, it would have been really good. Because at your lower 80s, again, if the pitch was not offering what it had to offer, I felt he would have gotten hit. And I was watching the next day. I watched for LSG. Do you guys watch Digvesh Rathi bowl? The difference
Yeah,
was
yeah,
he came in, he was sliding it in much quicker. He was changing the pace up so well. He was
But
hiding the ball.
yesterday
You,
was
you
more
had no
flatter
idea.
pitch.
You
but
had
that is
no
my
idea where the ball was turning, whether it was the wrong one, whether it was the classic leg spinner, the change of pace, the areas where he was hitting. Like again, this is his first game, mind you, but at least from the areas where he was hitting, the way he was changing the pace, the like the yeah, basically these two factors, I could say that okay, this guy had a clear plan. Maybe Vignesh Puthur had for this pitch for these batsmen, but I'm saying this is the difference that I found. Like someone like Digvesh Rathi, when he came in, he already had all the tools, like already has more tools necessary. Like if you have a great change of pace, if you have a great like way to hide the concede the fact that okay, you're going to bowl a wrong one or a leg spin, you already have two good assets to be used in T20 cricket. So I'm not using
I
this
just
as a stick to beat Vignesh Puthur with. Again, brilliant bowler, came on, had a dream debut. Hopefully goes on to achieve great things. But just from one game, I can't necessarily say like this guy has like all the minerals
Bro,
needed.
but
Hopefully
no,
again,
I
my
just
whole
honestly
point is
think that
I'm not sitting and saying he's going to be the next best thing. I'm just comparing Mumbai Indians spin department versus RCB spin department.
mm,
I overall think Krona is still a average bowler in terms of everything you get as a spinner. I saw that even on against KKR. Again, if you look at the first game, literally this first over, it was 16 to 18 odd runs.
yeah, he bowled in the power play
Luckily, two missed
and he
hits,
pulled that
two
bat.
inside edges
I mean,
got
on a
wickets.
neutral venue, I would agree. I'd close my eyes and agree with you, saying that okay, like Krunal Pandya is not the best spinner you can have. You can have much better options. But for a place like RCB, you're not going to generate a lot of turn anyway. You can't have someone who's going to toss
Spinners,
it up a
you
lot.
can generate a lot of turn. I'm sorry to say,
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of
Not
spinners turn.
again, not compared to a Lucknow, not
Bro,
compared
don't
to
try to say you don't get turn in
Chennai.
Chinnaswamy Stadium. Like, please, like, compared to any
Not
flat track, Chinnaswamy,
not as much as the traditional spinning tracks.
yeah, that is obvious. But I'm not going to sit
Yeah,
here and say,
exactly.
It's
like,
not as
for
So
some,
in a
because
smaller
Bangalore
ground, in a high
during these
scoring ground,
months,
you need someone who can keep it flat and have control over the ball.
bro. The
Like Krunal
thing is,
Pandya, of
Bangalore
course, he's
is
not
never
an
going to
odd
be
like
that dry.
yeah, he's not a traditional turner of the ball. But one thing from what like I've watched a fair bit of him in Mumbai Indians, one thing I knew that he's gonna bowl is he's gonna have control over where he's gonna land. He's gonna bowl those flat balls outside off stump, try to get like exactly underneath the bat. And he did the same thing against KKR.
but
So
in
what
T20 you can
RCB
get
is doing is
smacked.
I
Like,
feel need
that's
a
my
tailor fit.
point.
That's all
And my
that's
point
what
is,
I
if you don't have I don't want to say variations because I don't think you get that with left arm orthodox, but you have to be able to control your pace to an extent. And
No, he does. He
like, you
does.
need to be able to have variations.
He did in
Bro,
the
but
bowls
one
IPL.
half
second,
the
like,
time he comes in and bowls at a medium pacer's pace, and then
He does.
once in a while he just slows it down really well.
He does. He does have the change
bro,
of pace.
Yeah.
but look at the way he played against KKR. From what I've seen, I don't think it's an upgrade to any over of Santner. Like, I can't sit and ever say he's a better bowler than Santner. Like, it just doesn't make sense when you're telling
To me, he
Santner
does.
and
I'll tell
Kunal
you
can be
why.
even
I'll tell you
equal. Like,
why.
it's crazy.
Only in T20 cricket, I would prefer Krunal over Santner is
Kunal
because
over Sandner, yeah, same.
Krunal will still
I
be
just don't get
decent.
this.
Yeah, like so Krunal. One thing is Santner will always struggle to left-handers because of the way because of his pace. I think Krunal, because he can go across the left-hander, he's a much better option to have in T20 cricket. If Santner, for example, like was a little quicker than he is, I would have him over Krunal any day because he varies his pace beautifully. Krunal doesn't do it as well as Santner, but the only reason I would still have him is because he can go across the left hand. That's why I loved Maxwell, although he was not like some incredible off spinner. It's just the fact that even to a right-hander, no, Maxwell can go across him and he's pretty decent at
Also,
going
I
across
read
the
a
right-hander.
stat of Krunal. I'm not 100% sure, but I was fairly sure the stat was true that in all his seasons of his bowl, like playing in IPL, he's never had an economy of over 8.
Brother, that is what I'm saying. Krunal is
Like
brilliant at like what he does, like at his job. And if you
if you
couple that
want
with a few
like
wickets, it's
I'm
too
closing
good.
my eyes and taking a left arm spinner who has an economy of what between 7 and
So
8. Like
Santner has a
anything.
better, Santner has a better average, better economy, better strike rate than Krunal. So like again,
But
in
Santner
T20
doesn't.
in
Again, how
IPL,
many
in
games has
IPL.
Sandner played?
Sorry.
Sandner couldn't. How many games has Sandner played to
Didn't
begin with?
even
Like he
play.
couldn't make it into
He
a
was not even
CSK
a
Yeah, it
side
starter for
is.
with a
CSK.
friendly CSK side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is there for sure. But bro, you still have better average strike rate. I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about anything else. So it is two different things. Like I'm not talking about wickets. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about your average. I'm talking about the strike rate. I'm talking about
Bro,
your economy.
more. I don't think you would have a better economy than Krunal.
Sandner's economy is 7.0. Krunal's is 7.3.
So
Krunal has
It is
played
better, no? Like you're
career in
conceding
one
at
why
least
isn't
two
it?
runs. Bro, my point is you
Like,
said like
one second,
Krunal
what
is
are
a
the
better
stats
T20
played?
spinner than Sandner. I
No, I
again
said
can't accept it.
I would prefer Krunal because of what he can do to the left-handed. Like he's fine against left-handers, but Santner won't be.
Rahul, but I again don't agree to it completely. I think we have not seen enough to say that, yeah, at least for me, I haven't seen enough to say that
Hmm.
against the left-hander, I don't know much because honestly, I'll tell you, I haven't watched enough of him bowling against lefties in specific to sit and say, yeah, I know he can do this. I think what even last match against Narayan, he got slapped. So I really can't sit and say anything like just from last match
Sandner
itself.
has played, excluding this game, Sandner has played 18 matches in IPL. Okay,
Yeah,
That's
18.
but
not
He has
my
bowled
whole
about
point is the strike rate
380
and your
balls.
average is still lesser. Like
but that
it
Like
doesn't
18
matter
that's
how much
about
games you play.
and he's played in
it.
Chennai
Yeah,
all
he's
his life.
played exactly. He's the only other team he's played for is Chennai Super Kings. Now, if you want to put that into
Uh,
perspective,
Pandya also
where
played
is
in
No,
Lucknow,
Krunal
Krunal?
which
played
is
in
the
Mumbai. Krunal
best.
played in Mumbai and at LSG.
Krunal
Yeah,
has
LSG is
played,
like
has bowled in 118 games in IPL.
That's a lot, and he played only 3 seasons
118
at
compared to
LSG.
18, that's 100 games more. So of course your average is going to take a toll. Of course, and when you play in like batting paradises like Mumbai Indians for a long time, of course it is going to take a toll.
Yeah. Okay. Last question, guys. Who has the bigger fan base, CSK or Chennai? CSK or RCB?
bro. I don't
I
know,
think
bro. What you
RCB, bro.
want to
I
sit
think
and count
Ooh.
no,
everywhere
it's
like
not about
whom it
counting.
is.
I genuinely like even like just if I had to approximately say, I'd say RCB only because
Ah,
CSK
come
fans.
on, bro.
I think CSK fans are Dhoni fans, not CSK fans. That's my
No,
Yeah,
but
and
opinion.
if
I
it's a
think the
bigger
entire
fan
north,
base, I would agree that it's
yeah.
CSK. Like,
But
I
what are
think
you
by
basing
just
it
by sheer numbers, I think CSK edges.
but I've seen CSK fill an entire stadium in RCB, so I can't even in Chinnaswamy, so I can't even like deny it. Like, it's pretty much
And more than that,
like
the
I
number of
wouldn't.
I
like
would still say
I've
RCB.
had a lot of my friends in college, like so many like North Indians who support CSK, and it's not, yeah, like it's again, I have a couple of fans who like friends who are RCB supporters, but then the sheer number difference is a huge, like it's very huge. So I can't openly say that okay, RCB has, like, again, this is from what
Mm.
I've seen. So from my limited like viewpoint, it might be different, but yeah, from what I've seen, it's been CSK only.
All
Bro,
right,
I
guys.
think to be fair, like overall in India, I think it's in terms of stadium at least. I think I would say RCB because bro, even last game, and I'm putting in perspective of not only like RCB, but even not only the men's team of RCB, but
I know the
including the
women's.
women's
That's why
team.
I was. That's what I'm saying. Like I think RCB is
And
RCB
just looking
fans.
at bro, for example, when RCB played Mumbai, and we talk about how like people can say they have a big fan base, I guess. Like in the home stadium of Mumbai, it was literally like RCB's home game because everyone was shouting RCB. Like it was literally they were shouting
Same thing
RCB,
happened
RCB,
at
RCB.
Eden Gardens.
And
So
if CSK even had a women's team, I would doubt they would even be
I
able to fill
need to,
stadiums.
need to. I
And
genuinely feel like
and
RCB. You can see it.
yeah, and even last year when you look at women's finals in Delhi, it was literally an RCB's home stadium. Like in Delhi, it's you're feeling going there as a home stadium. Coming to this IPL this year, like going in Kolkata, it was literally like half of them were RCB fans, bro. They were shouting RCB, RCB in middle of a opening home game for like KKR. I don't think that can happen at like RCB State. Like Chinnaswamy, I'm never going to hear the word KKR, KKR being shouted out in our stadium. And the thing is, I don't think you would find much like those kind of scenarios in like Kolkata. I don't think CSK fans will be able to fill half the stadium and be people shouting CSK. I think they can do it to an extent, but not that much. And like, bro, every year, like last year also going to Ahmedabad, I remember it was like RCB home stadium. Going towards Hyderabad, last year when we played Hyderabad, also most of it was at like an RCB stadium. Every time we hit a six, people were cheering for us. So overall, I would say RCB are much better fans. I think in stadium wise, I think we can say we are bigger fan base, but I don't know about social media and all. Bro. Who knows?
Yeah, social media, I don't know. I mean, social media, I have seen social media because I did do some work. I think RCB have more YouTube subscribers. CSK have more Instagram followers.
No, I
So
think RCB have more.
no, no, CSK have more Instagram followers for sure, for sure.
Sure,
It's
sure.
that's the difference. But other than that, bro, like I genuinely feel like RCB fans are genuinely RCB fans, bro. Like even if you look at the WPL, bro, every game gets sold out.
RCB fans, RCB Instagram followers 17.4 million, CSK 17.6 million.
I told you
So
by the
pretty much
Take
day.
the same.
take your plus two, minus two, whatever. I don't know
That's
what
what
you'll
it's
get.
it's not much that but YouTube RCB has more subscribers.
Hmm.
I've seen that.
See, but if Dhoni retires, like half the followers will go away. So
That's true.
technically,
That is exactly what my point is. I genuinely think look at the support that RCB gets even for the women's game, bro. Like I think we all know who the players are, and I'm sure if Chennai had a women's team, I don't know, but I just hope like it would be similar support, but I just don't see it. We'll just wrap it up with that. Thanks guys for watching. Please like and share the video, subscribe to Sports Company, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.